Shevenantongatai, Ashabanakabai, Atagada Manatai, O Zevenagada, Iakovana. Hashabanagada, oh Mashabanakabai, oh Masagadabashamba, Yanana Kobrata, Elevora Basunde, and beyond the Venianta, Mashababa, oh Yeshua, Elemianto Sia. Thank for the awakening the sleeping giant, Anakoba Shaba, I awakening up from a slumber, and the Kaduma Koziakai, and the Kobanatiakai, and the Shibana, Eresobanakalia. Iakovena kuba na shiba, enia kuza na goda mashande, ayadera masande, oh Susumia kaleka, mama masovenentia, oh jodoboda nakai, elevadu makazunia. Mashua and the fire, and the makara basonde, oh barabashanda, oh karabasita. In Jesus' mighty name, yeah, we'll still be thanking God. No, prayer point just came to my mind. I'm going to thanking God for. We're going to say thank you, Lord, for I am a Nigerian. We're going to pray that prayer. You know, a lot of people jokingly say, "Oh, this is not my country." That I was not born into the right country. Oh, I can't wait for them to give me the visa to my real country. I can always get the visa, and it feels like a joke. So, are we trying to say that God made a mistake, knowing the assignment He has for you as a person, and made a mistake in placing you in this country? No, these are things we say funny and we laugh over them. But I was just thinking, like, Mordecai told Esther, I said, you don't know, probably you're born for such a time as this. That's why you're in the palace at this moment. You don't understand this is a strategic moment for you. And it's not about just yourself. It's about a generation that is at stake, that the enemy wants to wipe out. You understand? So it's not about you. Your life is tied to a generation. So it's not about you looking for an escape route or an escape route out of God's divine agenda of things. And many of us, we've been more sorry about being Nigerians than really thankful. We've been more sad about being Nigerians than being really even grateful to God. Because we've at least over time, we've come to understand that you being here is not a mistake. God is the all-wise one. He knows why He made you a Nigerian, not an American. Or not, only God knows where you be if you're an American by now. Do you understand? Only God knows if you'll be saying amen and a woman by now if you're an American. So, God knows the reason why He made you a Nigerian. And many of us, we've murmured more about it than really been thankful. Knowing that fully God He knows why. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, yes, you are Christ. Christ is your life, Christ is your identity. But there's a reason why He engrafted you into this nation. There's a reason why He placed you in this place. Understand? There is a reason why Esther belonged to the clan of a Jew. And she was in the palace of a pagan king at that moment. God is strategic in His dealings with people. God is strategic in His dealings in this world. God does not do things without an intention or a purpose. So if you belong to that company, let us stop saying that. There's a reason why you're a Nigerian. No matter how much you can even try to go and bleach you. You try to bleach you. I think let me look like your real. It cannot. You just destroy your life. It doesn't change anything, really. I'm just saying that there's a reason why God has called you to be. We need to stop being mum about. Stop looking for what is not lost. There's no. See why below said the land is green, and it is green for me. Those are seeing that. Those that are experiencing the greenness of the land. If that's English, are experiencing it. Understand? Because the word has come to us that people will say that there's a casting down and all. But our own confession that there's a lifting up. Our reality is not that of famine. Our reality is that of plenty. Because we walk in the reality of what God has called us to. So because something is going on doesn't mean you need to experience it. Just then, he told the Israelites that they should put the blood of Jesus over the post of their door, and that when the angel comes, he will pass over it. Just then, the calamities of the land, you should not expect to see them. That time, I don't expect to go out and expect to have an accident. Why? Because he will keep his angels charge over me. You know, sometimes you go out and the devil brings those kind of thoughts to you. It brings those kind of, do you understand? Oh, my Costa Bay. No, I just remember yesterday when my Uber driver was driving and see there was a trailer that was coming in front of us. And in fact, it was going to eat. I was not afraid because I said it will keep his angels charge over me. And so I don't expect to see evil. I should not go each day expect. In short, nowadays I'm learning to be more deliberate about or expecting to more deliberate about what I see. In short, even counter the negative things that have been said beside me. Understand? No, Nigeria shall be great. That's the deal. It's not about, like, we've come to see that it's not about where you go to. It's about the blessing. Understand? What you're running away from Nigeria, you can meet it even worse in Canada. I bet you. You can meet it worse there. What you're running away from, you just realize that Nigeria's experience is even better. And I've not even stayed and held on to my country. And all. I'm just saying we need to be, for whatever estate God has given, so we need to thank God for whatever, in terms of nation, and our national identity. We need to be grateful because God did not make a mistake making you a Nigerian. God was not, he knew what he was doing. He's the all-wise one. He's the all-knowing God. Someone that has known you before the foundation. That means he definitely knew the country you're coming to. Someone that's known you he knew the hospital they will give birth to you in. Do you understand? I'm not trying to say God is intentional about us and he doesn't make a mistake. He hasn't made one before and he will never make one. He can never fail. Do you understand? So I just want us to thank God for I want us to thank God for making us Nigerians, really. I want us to thank God because I was about it. Esther was in the palace, and her uncle Mordecai told her, no, they already written a petition for the Jews. I said, you were born for such a time as this. Do you understand? You were birthed in Nigeria for such a time as this. In short, you're in Nigeria for such a time as this. Instead of complaining, just stand. Do you know how much your intercession? Yes, or what was it, Jackpa? Instead of complaining, do you know how much your intercession can take you? Do you understand? I like the way Baba used to say it, that Elijah was a one-man pole. Do you understand? He turned the whole economy of a nation. Do you understand? And in reference to it said the effectual fervent prayer of righteous can availeth much. A translation said, giveth much power. Do you understand? So instead of complaining, do you know how much your intercession can carry you or carry this nation? Do you understand? Do you even don't let the devil lie to you. Do you know probably even the intercession you're making at night? They are making them renew policies in the Senate House and in the government place. You see things being exposed. I'm not sure if it's your intercession, you're keeping the night watch or keeping the morning watch that is actually bringing change to things. Yes, people are praying, but what about you? Listen, yeah, people. What about you? It's time for us to come to be. If God is intentional, we must be like our Father. We must also be intentional. We must also be deliberate. If He's committed to us, then we must also be committed to His things. We must also be committed to seeing the kingdom of God being enforced wherever we find ourselves. The truth is that the world does not revolve around you. And it's not supposed to. That means that it's at the very core of it is self itself. And that's not what we have been called to. That's not what we have been called to. So we must come into the realization of what we have been called to. For the purpose of the salvation of the Jews, God did not place Esther in the palace for nothing. Well, can you imagine what would have happened if it was Vashti that was there? Would you have imagined, or would you have actually imagined what would have happened what they call it. Because as she actually entered, she found favor with the king. I won't be surprised even I won't be surprised how brutal the man was before she got into that palace. And she brought an aura, and she brought a reality. Do you understand? She brought an aura and she brought a reality to that place. Can you imagine the way things were being, the affairs of things in the palace before they brought her into that sphere? Just and she was a government on her own. Just and so a government on her own. Do you know, I mean, what she was able to realize in ensuring salvation comes to God's people? And guess what? She didn't just go and meet the king first. She went to fasting and prayer. Just that. So don't expect to, okay, yes, God has said, oh, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, and everything. We're going to start, let us start from how much prayer have you done? And many of us even going to, the people say a lot of things like, okay, maybe I study medicine, or I want to go and get more knowledge and everything. So when I come back, child, you'll be surprised that you're not really concerned about your nation. At the very core and underneath that, what do you call it, the underlying condition of your desire, is to actually get a better living standard for yourself, and not that you want to do God's purpose. Or God, and don't get me wrong, there are people that God has sent over there. There are men that God has actually sent over there. Actually, the people that God will actually have be there. I'm just saying up for where you are. I praise God for making you a Nigerian. I was talking about it recently. People really even thank God for being Nigerians. Many of us are just concerned about looking for a real country. The one they put you in, how much more? What investment have you even made in the land? I'm not talking about. So I just want us to just thank God. I want us to thank God for making us Nigerians. Thank God for allowing us to be in where you have us be, even at this moment. Do you understand? Because God didn't make a mistake. God is intentional about me. My Father is intentional. He didn't make a mistake. And I'm grateful to God for that. And we ought to be. Because there's a reason why he would have you be here. Do you understand? There's a reason why we'll have you stay here, even at this point in time. Well, many people are living and looking for greener pastures. They're looking for, according to them, better standards of living. About God will have us. Understand? We've heard that God is preserving the generation. God is raising a generation of people. Do you understand? And in terms of doing, one thing I've come to realize over time, in terms of doing God's assignment, your geographical location matters. Do you understand? God will not have you do a work here and say, no, I'm supposed to be stationed in Brazil. No, I just remember something Pastor said. I think he went for a meeting to preach for a friend. And I don't know, I'm paraphrasing, maybe while he was praying and something. And as he was praying, maybe he had a dream or a vision or something. And that his friend, he saw some different people. And that friend saw his name in Nigeria. Whereas the friend was in Brazil. Just then. And that's no, the location of this person. Just then. There's a reason why you are in a place. It's not just no. I can be in America. I'm interceding for Nigeria. No. In terms of assignment, even though most of the time, geographical location matters. There's a reason why there's something your presence can do in a place. Just then. You. Sometimes you have, when pastor says maybe he enters somewhere like Lut or a location, and he felt that the atmosphere changed. Or he said, oh, Papa Adebo came to Lagos. He felt there was something different about the atmosphere, or something had opened over the atmosphere. You understand? It's not about the person, but it's about carries and is bringing into that place. No, men are portals of, like they carry things. So don't, let us not say that, oh, let's not try to excuse ourselves out of God's divine will. Let's not try to excuse ourselves and bring excuses and, no, not this, I don't even know if I should be happy or, no, it's not an in thing. Someone goes abroad, it's now like majority people state of congratulations. And sometimes I think deeply that why exactly are you? What's the core behind your congratulating the person? Understand? Why exactly are you congratulating the person for? Understand? What exactly? Just like say a man has gone out of, has deviated far away from divine will, and you are congratulating the person for that because you feel the person is in a better place. What makes you think so? The place you are thinking they are better places. Do you know what is coming against those places in years to come? The safest place is in the will of God. Not outside the will of God. Your safest place is in His will. Where He will have you be. You understand? The safest place is in His will. And let Him don't define His will for Him. Don't define God's will for Him. Let Him define His will for you. So that's the safest place you can ever be. In the reality of being in His will and walking according to His will and His plan and His divine intentions for you. So I think it was Kira shared that saying the safest place in the whole wild world is in the will of God. That wherever, just be in that will, just be at the center. Just be in His will. Not where men want you to be. Not where family members are pushing you to be. You understand? Not where your friends are pressuring you to be. You understand? Much more than ever in these days, you must be bold about the things of God. Must be bold about the knowledge that we have of Him. Because things will come. Things will arise. Arguments, conversations will come that want to question the reality of God that has revealed to you. And must know the truth to be able to stand and defend this. Do you understand? I'm assured of better things concerning Nigeria. Because God has given us a sure word of prophecy. And we see God raising people even in these times. God is raising men, and He's raising them in the church. He's raising them even in different spheres in the church to man these places. He's raising fivefold ministers. He's raising minstrels, men that are releasing sounds into the atmosphere. Releasing sounds, sounding the alarm for what God is saying even on Nigeria at this time. Releasing the reality of God over the nation even at this time. Just let us find out what God is saying. Find out your part, the part you ought to play. Find out your position in God's agenda of things concerning Nigeria. And don't think you are too small. Because you're not shown on TV doesn't mean you don't have a part to play. The works you take, the prayer works you take at night, you are playing your part and ensuring God's will is being enforced in this nation. Why some fathers that they have a say in this nation? Because they're actually playing their part. And their part is not really what even they are saying. It's in the secret place. They started from there. Seeking the heart of God for the nation. Okay, God, what are you saying about this nation? What are you doing? What's your agenda? And you see they come out and speak boldly. Why? Because there are things that have gone on in the secret place. They are not just coming out. No, they are coming out. They are speaking with understanding. They are speaking with because God has spoken to them. Do you understand? So it's time for us to understand that we are standing, because we are playing out the right of God upon the land, upon the nations, even in the church. So let's not be involved in the things people are saying or what they're not. No. The question that what is on God's heart for this nation? What are you saying? What are you doing? Listen, I'm proud to be a Nigerian because God vetted me a Nigerian, and there's a reason why He did that. Just there's an assignment He has for me, and there's a writing in God that He has, that is finding expression in allowing me be a Nigerian. So let's not think God did not make a mistake. God knew very, very well. Just and God knew very, very well why He made you and why He planted you here. So let's not stop. Let's not make funny jokes like, no, probably not in my real, yeah, your real country. You should let me even pray, good pray. You will not. Some people, I see that, okay, they want to go. Some people, I see that maybe they're making plans to. I can pray that God should, I pray they don't find that visa they're looking for. They don't find it. It's not a curse. You understand? It's salvation for them. Because the enemy wants to take them away, totally away from God, far away from Him. Just that. There's a person I know that had been trusting God to go, like a very close. but I said, and I've been saying, no, this person is not going to find. The first thing, this person is to encounter God. And by God's grace, the person is still in this nation. It's a testimony. It's a testimony. Because the person was, it's a testimony. By God's grace, he's still here and you still stay here. I'm saying my prayer is that God will arrest the person. He's not living this, the enemy cannot take him out of God's will. God's will, he must find God. So yes, my prayers keep holding him down. Until God has given him a will. My prayers will hold him down. Say, no, this person you will encounter God. You will come into God's fulfillment for your life. You might think, is that not a bad? No. It's not a bad prayer. Just leave me. I know that. My God, I don't have to let the person know that I'm praying. I am praying for you. I know what I'm praying. I know what I'm praying. I'm praying for you. Do you understand? Please don't come and miss my action. What are you praying for me? I know what God will have me, and I will pray that prayer. So just leave me as the Lord leads me, as the Spirit will let me pray. Do you understand? Don't know how many people you have saved that by I know this person is not going there. Then you've saved and you've allowed them to still be in the will of God. It's so sad. Some people are in the nation yet, they're still out of the will. Talking of those that go out, that they're far away from it. I know. I pray God will help us. We are short of better words, better things concerning Nigeria. We are short of that God's will be done in this nation as it is in heaven. We are sure of seeing. I see sometimes like I'm encouraged. Just we're going to see men live out this life of God, even in this nation. Once again, we'll see men arise and they're able to speak. The prophets arise, apostles arise, able to speak to people in government. Do you understand? So I think Revelation, somebody was talking to John that he should eat. As if it be bitter in his belly and sweet in his mouth. That they will yet prophesy to nations and kings. Do you understand? Say if you say a man diligent, it starts from even where you are. Being faithful in what God has called. Say a man diligent in his work. He said, he will not stand before mere men. Stand before, do you understand? And it starts from foundation, being faithful in where God has called you. Because in your faithfulness, you are learning things. You are being equipped for that work. You are being equipped to stand before kings. Because you need to be equipped to be able to stand before them. And actually, and not mince words, but say what is in the heart of God for them. You understand? We are not going to prophesy according to the lusts in the heart of the king or in the heart of the God. No. You will declare because God is one has put them in place. You understand? It's true. So they chose a king for them. They chose a king for themselves. But it was God that put one in place. The people that have chosen that this is what they wanted, but it was God that it couldn't have come into play if God didn't put him there. That's just the truth. He couldn't have. He told Samuel to anoint him. He couldn't have if God did not put him into place. So it's the fact that you are there is because God allowed you. The fact that you're president of a nation is because God allowed you, because God permitted you. If not, you won't be there. So even if though they are not really in America, because I thank God that I'm here. They are right because it's God that permitted them. You hear that? It said, and he added the heart of Pharaoh. Is the one. So the heart of king and the hand of the Lord, he can turn it whichever way he wants. So God is still he will let in the affairs of men. Don't get it twisted. He's still the one ruling. God is still right in the middle of everything. God is the one that is ruling in their affairs. So they might think that God is seeing them. God is watching over everything. So he allows allows his rain to come upon both the just and the unjust. So do you think he's not aware of the works of the wicked or the works of the unjust? But he still allows this rain to. Do you think he's ignorant of what was done? Do you understand? But he still allowed this rain to fall on both. So don't think God is not foolish. And he's not unwise. He's the all-wise one and he sees everything. His eyes roam to and fro the earth. The Lord can see. He's watching over the earth. He knows what is going on. So even men can continue eating. But scripture says that nothing is eaten under the sun. Listen, nothing is eaten. With due time, it will be uncovered. So there are many exposures that are going on now in different places in America. People are sure that there's even confusion in their midst. Things are being exposed. You understand? I said, God is working. It might not be according to your timing. In short, he's doing work that you can imagine, that you can perceive. He's doing a quicker work than sometimes you go, I feel God is wasting time. You have no idea. In short, he's doing quicker work than you can imagine. If God leaves it to you, how many of the even in 1 minute, how many of the work can you do? Understand? They will say God is wasting time. He's not wasting time. God is thorough. God will not leave. He will not leave an I undotted or a T without being crossed. He's thorough, and what he's doing is a thorough work. Understand? God is thoroughly furnishing our nation. He's thoroughly revamping it. He's rebuilding the ancient ruins. He's rebuilding it. And for you to even rebuild something, some structures must come down first. Some things must come down. Some things must be demolished. Just then, some constructment is not just in the foundation, even the church, the government of God in the nation, even his church, is thoroughly furnishing that. Is bringing down structures. God is going to touch every area. He will touch every place. He's touching every area. He's touching it, and he's beginning house. From the place of it, he is. Whether I would like it or not, the throne of God is in Nigeria. Understand? Those that have eyes can see it. Understand? They know that the and that which has said concerning is going to come to pass. What said concerning is going to be fulfilled. And that's that by the Lord has helped us thus far to stand in the gap for Nigeria. And it doesn't stop with this with the prayer. It doesn't stop there. Just that we need to morning and night watch. Keep it day and night. We will not keep quiet until Nigeria is made a praise on the earth. We will not keep silent until the kingdom of God is enforced in this nation. And I won't just pray about it. I want to see it. I don't just want to do that. There's a time I was just I was part of it that we used. No, I want to participate in it. I don't want to be an observant. But let me start my participation in the place of prayer. As Lord leads, every other way you have you participate in it. You understand? I don't want to see. I want to see the kingdom. I want to see that reality playing out in the nations. So we will not keep quiet. Understand? Until Nigeria is made a praise upon the earth. And that's the word of God to her. Because she said she will stink. And she's already seen the variety of that. She's been rejected from places to places. But there's a coming time when she'll be known for righteousness. And she will not that she'll be known. She will teach. She'll become a tourist attraction because of righteousness. You understand? Righteousness will bring, because of righteousness, nations will come to her to learn the ways of the Lord. You understand? The horror of God in the nation will bring men to her. So in that sense, I want us to just thank God for what He's doing for our nation. Thank God for you being thank God for being in Nigeria. Don't stop murmuring, stop complaining. You are in your real nation. God did not make a mistake in making you a Nigerian. I want us to thank God for that. I want us to thank God for what He's doing, what He has started, and His mercy over us as a people. And I want us to pray. I just want us to pray that we will not, even in this time as we will not miss it. We will not miss what God is saying. We will be full participants. We will be part of what He's doing, season and out of season, constantly, even concerning this nation. That we are not ignorant of what He's doing concerning Nigeria. For us to engage appropriately, we must be aware of what He's saying. For you to wage a good warfare over this nation, you must be aware of God's word concerning her, so you can war effectively. Do you understand? So I want to thank God for Nigeria. I want to thank God because I know God is we have a sure word of prophet, and it's all coming to pass. What the Lord has said, what He's doing in this church, in other words, people, in government, in the business world, in the entertainment industry, everything is coming to pass. Everything is God is arresting men. Just and even we start seeing people that you didn't even think of, people that cannot even you've probably even ruled out. I see God really surprising us, even in these dimensions. Going into this place and bringing them out from deep darkness and bringing them into light. And also making them to be a light as well. I want us to thank God for His mercy and for His sure word of prophecy we have concerning Nigeria. I want us to thank God for deliverance that has come to her. I want to thank God for purification, refinement that has come to her. Oh, Satalia Bashabana Kamba Tuzanatai. Heaven Ashibano Savandu Kadebo Shabadai. Heaven Zo Palia do Shabatika Venitai. Heaven Zo Palia do Shabanda Fosia Tiakai. Helemion Suvena Shiba. Oh, by oh, Felemia Tosada Boshiba. Yes, man to sia kavada bashanda. Heyenene kando sehelio kovenati. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Makovena bashiba natai. Oh, God, nevelu sahana kobanda kobai. Hele breko zita shiwatai. Here nekala bratona sipai. Heavens open the shibanda kovenetia. Elushaboda venom basusumian kave. Hele voda de biga. And the mashia and the von, Anna fortianta voda boda, and the covenant pia poti porta, as shebananta vona sibeletia, oh Yeshua venticanto venamakai, Eladena sianta tete, ayado the gate ataya, oh venamacomba shibatai, oh masuvenando venabo shiva, oh Father, we thank you for your hand that is upon this nation, Nigeria, and your tongue teliata si, elevo Suzumianta Shia, Heavens of Paliango Vena Bashia, Yeshua, Mande Fatuze Nene, Adege de Bodua, and the Shibalagavo de Venem. Oh, yes, Mando Venagatai. Oh, God, Nando Shiba. Thank you for that has come to her. Ayados and Andega Boda Veniakai. Oh, Masuba. Thank you for the doors of mercy that have been opened to her. Etelemian to Shianka. Oh, God, Neboshianta Vala Bosia. Thank you. Oh, Mashabanakobaya, for you have chosen to look upon her. Oh, Nekaboya, you're going to look upon her with mercy. And the vele brakomba suzumi anteve. Heavens oh palebadoshia. Ayade gaboda ziatai. Heavens oh basiatai. I have decided to rebuild the ancient rules. And the nose and the nekai. And the shebananai. Oh, thank you, Jesus, for your heart from Nigeria. Suzuvanande 40. Heaven no palia C40. And the 40 portalia. And the Shianka Vanoko, and the Susumianta Velia, hey, Master, Ian the Shada, and the oh, Masha Bando Kobaya, oh, Masusuvena, thank you for heavens are